Video Game Bang.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Video Game Bang. Your weekly source for all things video game. Featuring your fearless hosts, Cory, Vincent.
I'm pretty much Microsoft and Marvel. The cans are on. It's when ish gets real. People get shot during the day?
And Aaron Carter.
Buy the armor, I equip it, and it's like pink thong. The guy that delivers vending machine items at my job, he can play the right.
Fill up your Mountain Dew and grab your Doritos. It's time for Video Game Bang.
What is up, my pizzas? For the 5th year running, that is right, the 5th year anniversary of the Video Game Bang begins just like many other of them begins with me not being able to form a complete sentence. The beautiful theme song there, crafted by Kyle the McGuire. And I have a feeling that it's E3 week, so we have a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss. We still haven't covered PlayStation or Nintendo, but there's going to be a lot of reminiscing. I would not be surprised if we get a few tears out of this man, Aaron Carter, my partner for 5 years, sir. Can you believe it's been that long?
I can, because time flies by.
How do you feel? Do you feel 5 years older from when we first started this thing?
When have I ever emoted, I guess, during big events?
I don't know. Well, you did cry on Christmas. If we're going to start off with our favorite memories, my favorite memory, one of them, was you crying after me. It was a very noble act of me, as one of your best friends, to get all of your friends together. I took the initiative, made sure that we all got together, and got you a PlayStation.
That's why it means...
And you cried.
So
you had tears of joy.
You let people have their own memories as much as they want to distort them, just for them, you know?
Yeah.
That's what you let. That's what you let.
Also joining us, he's been here for most of the ride, David Webb.
What's going on, everybody?
What do you think? 5 years.
It's crazy. It's been a crazy ride. I was thinking about it today, looking back on it. Like, I was a guest, like year 1 maybe, talk about the iPhone. And if you told me at that point that 4 years later I'd be one of the hosts of the show, I'd say, yeah, that makes sense.
Dreams really do come true.
They do.
Speaking of dreams come true, she makes them happen night in, night out on the con floor.
Yikes.
I started backing myself into a corner real
you did.
fast. Ivy Doomkitty is back.
Yeah.
That was completely unintentional. I did not mean it that way.
I forgive you. It's the 5-year anniversary.
Thank you.
I'd say anything goes, but that would be my foot in my mouth if I said that. So we're not going to go there. But no, happy anniversary. I don't know how long I've been with you guys. 2 years? Has it been 2 years? 1 year? No, it's been more. 2 years.
A year and a half.
1 year? About a year and a half.
Yeah, January 2017. We kicked off the new year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Just last year?
Yeah, it seems a lot longer too.
How long have you been with Energy?
A year and a half.
Okay, because I've been on longer than you've been with Energy.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, 100. 100, as the kids
I remember
say.
our calls.
So
yeah, I'm back. I'm back and here to stay.
I think the important thing is that to acknowledge is that we would not be here without the amazing fans. Thank you guys who have supported us for as long as you have, whether you're brand new, listening for the first time, if you just started a few months ago, or one of the ride or dies who are with us from the beginning, who are out there. Speaking of which, Aaron, I don't know if you've been watching chat, but Bezer showed up for the event.
Bez is back.
That's so. I gave him a shot, and... he finally, I guess because the landline over there in England is a little bit slow, so
Damn.
he finally hit me back.
I've heard some bad stuff about internet over there. Also, kicking in the 5-year anniversary, VGB decided to do a giveaway. So if you guys are in the Twitch chat, you can type !giveaway, and that will give you a link to a Gleam page. And we're giving away a Nintendo Switch set with the collector's edition of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And you're going to want to get that Switch because they were dropping some big bombs at E3 this week. So we're going to get right into the news Aaron, should we start with PlayStation or you want to do Nintendo first? I'll leave it up.
I was going to leave it up to you guys, actually. I didn't know where you wanted to go. Everything.
I'm indifferent.
I say let's get PlayStation out of the way.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You say get out of the way like there's nothing to show there.
It was, in my opinion, that was, I wouldn't say it was the worst show of E3.
Now see, okay, because it's all over the place. Everybody's everywhere.
Yeah, even in our group chat with like the crew, like everybody's all over the place. But I did fast forward through most of it. It was not that interesting to me.
Is it because you're not playing it currently?
No, not even that. It's because most of the games that we saw were games that we already knew about. We just saw more detail of them.
And you weren't interested in those.
I wanted to see new stuff. And you know what, though? It's not just me. I know I was paying attention to the crowd reactions, too. And the game that the crowd got most hyped for was the remake of Resident Evil 2. That's what they
Is
got.
that true? Is that necessarily true?
I don't
I
know
feel like
if
there's a
they-
lot of hype.
Okay, so PlayStation started off their show with
Okay, let me rephrase
Banjo-Kazooie.
with Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
Okay, let's get that
The
out of the
Last
way.
of Us.
Let's address that first and foremost. Of all of the things, like I'm going to even throw Square Enix, Ubisoft into the mix. Of all of the shows, that was the dumbest layout. Like,
Wait, what was the? I don't know. Comparing to Square Enix, what did they have?
They just rolled tape.
Okay.
Like, I don't even think they had a stage.
Okay, I thought maybe like they came out with like a saxophonist or something like that.
No.
Okay.
Sony starts off. They're in like a barn or something. It looks like
Church.
kind of a church. Okay, they're in a church barn, and a guy comes out and he plays banjo for a long time.
I fast forwarded through it.
A long time.
You had the luxury of doing that because
know.
the rest of us watched it live as it was going on, and then they show the Last of Us trailer, which was dope. We'll get into
Yeah,
that
that
in
was
a
good.
second. But just the flow. Then they went to like an intermission for 45 minutes where they like broke down what we had just seen, what we're gonna see. It just was like four people sitting there talking to a screen, saying absolutely nothing.
And that was awkward too. Like
That
their
was awkward.
interactions with each other were really awkward. It's like they didn't.
It didn't
really
add
know-
anything to it. They were literal filler.
Yeah, that's 100% what they were, and it's like they weren't 100% sure when they were going to be cutting back to PlayStation because they kept saying, "Well, we're coming up soon. Let's do another topic."
And they're like, any minute now.
And from
what do
I
you
saw,
think?
the beauty of Twitter is that everybody, and especially at a gaming convention, everyone's tweeting everything that's happening ever at any moment. And there's a whole bunch of people there, like even complaining that they're like bored. It's super hot in this barn. They made people move from here to there. Like, it just was not friendly for the viewers.
Yeah.
It wasn't friendly for anybody's ears because their audio was trash.
Well, we'll get back to audio.
Was-
We'll talk about
yeah,
Ubisoft.
it was riddled
trash.
with problems.
No,
too.
but
Yeah,
see,
they had echo.
Ubisoft had problems turning off their mics. PlayStation though, or Sony, they just had problems with like the quality of it. It's just like at the
okay.
last minute they were like, "Who just graduated from sound school?"
and then during one of the game trailers, they cut back to the desk, and the desk was empty because they
Yeah.
were supposed to cut. And then they come back.
And they did like random cutaways to just a tree.
Yeah.
It was like
God.
we were like, "Is this supposed to be a game?" Okay, no.
Yeah, there are little segments in between that were supposed to be maybe funny. They're like cartoony.
Oh, the music segments.
They weren't well thought
transitions?
out.
Yeah, their transitions were
Those are
bad.
weird.
So presentation aside, though, they after you got through the migration of going from the barn to wherever they were going to actually hold their show, they showed off in detail, well, not in detail, but in length, The Last of Us 2. So you got to see some real, like, visceral, hardcore gameplay of this one. And it's, like, over-the-top bloody. And I don't know. I mean, like, we played this one, or the first one, and I kind of was like, all right, cool. But that's just me personally. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people are excited
That's
about
like
this
a
game.
critically acclaimed game.
You know, and they got their little, they got the jollies off by, watching the blood spray and the ladies kiss. But, I mean...
Ivy, you watched the whole trailer for The Last of Us. What were your impressions
did.
on that one?
I liked it. I thought it was great. But again, I can only say so much because I didn't finish the first one. So going into that part, just from what I saw itself, I liked it. I like the fact that, you know, you have that relationship going on, and it starts off with I like that it's that tent with the lights and how, you know, it was set up. You know, the entire audience was also set up in that, you know, similar tent with the lights. So it kind of transitioned from that right into your, you know, the trailer. And I thought that was really cool. And I like the back and forth of, you know, both of the girls are talking, and she makes a comment to her, and then she like kind of flashes back to being just this like killer. You know, she's like just, you know.
What did you think? Did you think it was too gory? Is there a line, and did they cross it?
I will say there were, okay, for me, I get really sensitive. Like, shooting's fine, but when we're talking using knives and things like that, I'm really sensitive with that stuff. So there were moments where I actually had to look away because it was overkill, literal overkill for me.
Was it when they stabbed the guy that was hanging?
That was too much. That was very Hannibal Lecter in Italy.
Aaron, is there a line, and did they cross it?
I would say no, because it's a horror game. I was going to say if everything was like realistic, like there's no monsters in this universe, that's one thing. But there's monsters in the universe.
No, there's monsters in the universe, but they weren't killing monsters. That was human on human.
I know, yeah. I mean, but it's the same thing with Walking Dead. The most brutal deaths on that are usually from human on human.
I feel like in Walking Dead, even though there's few that are that graphic that have been human on human.
Maybe Glenn,
Negan with the baseball bat on Glenn.
Yeah.
And then Rick one time bit a dude's throat out.
I saw an arrow go through a woman's face.
Oh, that happened too.
A group of zombies tore into a man that was in that little
That's fine though. That's fine when it's zombie on human or human on zombie, but if it's
human on human, that's a different story.
It really changes it. I thought it was a little
humanizes
too much.
It.
Yeah, it was so realistic. I don't know. I don't know if I could.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that. I thought it was too much.
I'd be surprised if it got further than that, though. Part of me wants to think that maybe they included the bloodiest parts.
Yeah, just so it's like, this is what to expect.
Shock and awe, like, grab you and you remember it.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game's not as bloody.
It looked so great, though. Like,
the graphics were
the small details of, like, when she hides behind a car and gets close to it, you know, she puts her hand on it to kind of lean on, I noticed. Like, the way she interacts with the environment made me question whether it was true in-game gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in another video game, like when you go next to a wall, they don't really react differently to the wall.
Or when they get hit, too, because she kind of hit into a cutscene type of thing. Like, she would get hit into a cutscene. It was weird. If it's actually like that, then freaking kudos to them, but it did seem all scripted, like big time scripted.
Yeah, like when she's fighting in the store and she like squeezes in between two aisles. Like, can you do that in the game, or was that?
I have no idea now.
I don't know. So what was after that?
After that, they showed Ghost of Tsushima, and another game that looks pretty good. It's really, I would say it's like a really beautiful game, actually. From there's like one scene of the show where you play as the main character, and he's going up against kind of another Japanese lady who wanted to kill a target that you were going to save. But they had like this kind of camera angle where the sun is setting, and you had all these like fallen leaves and everything like that. It's your kind of standard third-person action game.
I think that's the Sony thing. Like, that's Sony's bread and butter, is those action-y games.
Yeah.
Like, from God of War to Last of Us to this one and you see way less of these type of games on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, you get Horizon Zero Dawn every once in a while or something like that, but yeah, they kind of dominate, or like Tomb Raider, I guess, but yeah, to what you were saying, like as when you was riding the horse through that field, and we were all just talking about, wow, grass simulator.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that well, for me at least, that only goes so far. Like afterwards, I'm like, okay, now what gameplay do I have here?
Reminds me of Rise, Son of Rome.
Like, it could have been a VR game before, I bet, and then they were like, no, let's actually do something real.
Yeah, beautiful game, but if the gameplay is stale or gets repetitive, it's one of those games where you just gotta get your hands on it.
It's an open world game, so I mean, I guess if you they didn't really show like what more you're gonna do besides travel to location, kill something, cutscene.
Is it just gonna be overshadowed completely by The Last of Us 2?
Did they give a release date on this one?
I don't know, but
that was 2018.
Can this game really break the mold, or do you think this is just one of those that's going to fade into the...
That's one of those tough questions with new IPs, though. It's like people like what they like, so you have the old familiar of Last of Us 2, or you have something brand new that could be an actually good game, but I think it's up to the internet, whoever gets their first hands on it. Don't trust the reviewers. Just like look at forums and see what people are talking about. Like, oh, I played this game, it's tight. Beyond that, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't see myself like going to pick this one up day one because I don't really need a
samurai game in your life.
I don't really need a samurai game in my life.
I'd pick it up, but not day one. Maybe a couple months in when I'm done with everything else, then pick up.
What is Sony's thing?
Sony's
Game Pass. Do they have one?
PlayStation? No.
I was gonna say because I'd do it if they.
There was a lot of answers in that.
I'd do it if they dropped it on that.
PlayStation Now, I think.
Maybe.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Don't know. Say.
After that, they showed a kind of a quick trailer for a game called Control. Another third person action adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked
kind of cool.
It was about this part of this conference where I realized that thought I'd had before. Like, man, Sony really likes this style of game.
Yeah, they know
they're like go with force powers.
And have you ever played Quantum Break? Like, that's the game it kind of looked like.
A little bit.
I never played that one. I heard it was decent, but like, if it's forgettable, why do a sequel? Like, that makes no sense. And just like the trailer, it was forgettable. So
yeah.
I mean,
what else we got?
And then another third-person action adventure. They actually took it from static camera to make it third-person. The Resident Evil 2 Remastered Edition poked its head out. It did look very good. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Were you excited about this one?
It was the only one probably in this whole.
Oh my god, it was so nice. And Claire Redfield's back. That was pretty sweet.
I had a coworker who was complaining about he didn't like the way Leon looked because he's like a hardcore Resident Evil fan. Has Umbrella tattooed on his shoulder.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like hardcore.
Well, I mean, he definitely looked different.
It looked fine. It looked fine.
It's not anything. Yeah.
I don't know what he was tripping off of.
The trailer was interesting. How you took the form of a rat for. Like,
I don't know where they were going with that.
Honestly, I thought it was more Prey. I thought you were a mimic, like.
Oh.
And you were like you were mimicking things, or like you were sneaking around, and then I was like, oh.
Had all of us thinking it was going to be like a rat simulator game, Ratatouille VR.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, I
they
guess
have Goat Simulator, so why not Rat Simulator?
It was a good like distraction, so it'll throw you off like you don't know what this is going to be.
You know what's going to be, yeah.
But in the end of it, like, why do I care? How much time did that take? Like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
That could have been 30 extra seconds of actual gameplay footage you could have put in there.
Yeah.
Instead of the rat?
That's valid.
Did not care about the rat. After that, they showed another third-person action RPG this time with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, we already talked Kingdom Hearts previous ones. So this was pretty much the same trailer, but at the beginning it started with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Got some Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah. Did they not show that at the other?
No. No, they just did the Frozen stuff.
So they got exclusive Pirates of the Caribbean at theirs. Is that what? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, another 30 seconds of other gameplay we could have seen. And then we got the one that everybody was waiting on. The big boy. Death Stranding. Third person.
Fuck this game right now,
it's
man.
just more questions.
Why could they make it more confusing?
No.
And actually, they made the game look incredibly boring.
Yeah, they did.
Which one?
Death Stranding.
Norman Reedus fetus game.
Oh, that was awesome.
What?
You're done.
I liked it.
You're
it
done.
gave me a hell of a
yourself.
lot more questions.
That's why you're done.
But what about the gameplay?
The gameplay, okay, so I'd say three-quarters of it seemed very slow. and monotonous. And then at the very end, it gets really exciting where you see those little invisible creature things. And I don't know, what was that? He activated the baby? The baby did something?
See,
He,
okay,
like,
that's
woke up
the
the
thing.
baby.
Yeah, exactly. Do you get baby powers?
You get
You get all the powers of a
Seems
pregnant
like-
woman when you put that thing on.
He, like, woke it up.
mother's intuition that you get.
Increased
He's like,
sense
"Hey,
of smell.
hey,
Increased
look."
sense of strength.
Look at what's
I
going
smell
on. Wake your ass
pickles.
up.
You have weird cravings.
Right in the middle of all those guys, you just go, "Oh damn, a pickle sounds hella good right now."
Pickle and a peanut butter sandwich.
The people, I swear, the people that are waiting on this game just on Kojima's word you've got problems. You
Yeah.
literally have issues.
I'm excited for it.
You have
What-
issues.
what-
For delivering dead bodies someplace?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. At one point,
Yes.
like you don't have a crate anymore.
Not
you
even
have a dead body.
Not even delivering them in like interesting environments.
No, it's the same environment.
Bland swamp.
In Kojima we
environments.
trust, right?
Yeah, no, so you bump all that.
No. And here's the other thing too: is they included dialogue this time. So if you're going to include dialogue, why?
Oh,
make
the
it
dialogue
more
made no
confusing?
sense. It made no sense. I even had it on captions because sometimes I'm hard of hearing and I had the captions on and I'm like, what the hell are they saying?
Here's
None of this
here's
makes
my
sense.
theory. Kojima
They're
doesn't
fragmented
even know what he's
sentences.
making.
I think he went into it because, like I've always said, Kojima is a game developer that wanted to make movies.
Yeah.
He spent the first 2 years of college in film.
Yeah.
Then he switched majors because he started flunking.
Spent
Yeah.
half a year in video game
Yeah,
development.
and he was like, let's do this
You know, how,
instead.
you know when artists like they just take the paintbrush and they just splash paint on the canvas?
That makes more sense.
That's like what he's doing. He's just splashing cutscenes, and then eventually it's going to become somewhat of a game.
And then he like.
Well, I mean, he
introduced
said he
some
makes
characters.
deliveries, right?
Well, that's what it looks like. You're just
Yeah.
a delivery person.
But delivering what?
And then not even
Pizza.
because in Fallout New Vegas you're a delivery person. And that game is way more exciting and entertaining
Did
than
we get
that.
release date on this yet?
As a matter of fact, there is nothing special about you in Fallout Vegas, New Vegas. You just are a courier. You're the courier.
You don't have baby powers?
No.
Oh, that's pointless then.
You're the courier like that
Baby powers are nothing.
your storyline could have gone to anybody type of thing. But apparently this person not Kojima Redis is special for some reason.
Well, so okay, that was like the one thing that they kind of shed light on was you hear the other character in the game ask him like what level he is, and he said something like extinction level. She's like, "Oh, so you could see them?" He's like, "No, but I can sense them." So there's something there. We like he knows when they're around, whatever these things are.
Okay.
She also said something. If he dies, he goes back.
He gets
but
reborn.
everything else, something. There was a word she used.
But everything
But
else
you-
won't. So if they touched him, then he would come back. He would die, but he would come back. But
So
everything else would still be a crater.
You die in the game. This is probably what's going to happen. You die in the game. You get reborn as the baby, and now you're stuck
think
in the
so.
jar the whole time.
I think
First
you're right.
person.
Until another delivery
person, yes,
picks you
dies,
up.
and then
Screw that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the jar.
That's
I don't
how
wanna
the
be a pickled
multiplayer
baby.
is.
No
That's
pickled babies.
That's exactly how the multiplayer.
Chat for Twitch chat, it's just hilarious to watch during anything because a large majority will put Resident Sleeper no matter what. So
Yeah.
you always got to weed them out. But then you get the ones that will just call everything blank simulator, and this one was hiking simulator.
It basically is.
No joke.
There's so many shots of him just walking on near a mountain with a giant backpack. It was just hiking everywhere.
And the
he went.
body.
Yeah, I saw I think so. This was annoying. Like, I used to be a huge Microsoft fanboy. It's been 5 years. I could admit it. You know, at the beginning of the show, I would just jump on. I would defend them pretty hardcore.
You
But
had a Windows phone, for God's sakes.
I had a Windows
That's
phone.
the saddest.
And as you go through and you start like kind of changing and seeing other companies and just being more, I don't know, in the middle, you start to identify other blind, hopeless fan people. So we were in a chat watching this with my cousin who was just annoyingly defending everything that we're seeing. And what was the defense that she had for this game?
Did she talk about this one?
I thought she did.
I know she talked about Last of Us, but I don't know if she talked about this crap.
Oh man.
I really don't remember her talking about this. I remember her defending Last of Us.
I know she was defending Nintendo.
No, she was. Remember, because
Oh, well,
we
no,
told
she's
her.
definitely
No,
on Nintendo,
because
yeah.
we made the point. We said just because it's confusing doesn't mean it's good.
It's like Westworld.
Yeah.
she was talking about
100%
her
like
defense
what-
of this game for us not like kind of criticizing it was you guys just probably don't understand what's happening. It's like, no, we understand that we don't understand. That's not why we don't like it. There's other reasons.
Did she
to it.
understand what was happening?
No,
No one
well,
understands. Kojima doesn't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
He's throwing darts at a board of ideas. And he's just putting
100% what
stuff
he's
in
doing.
there. It's not even. I don't know.
Did
this-
they say release date?
I
I don't remember if they even have a
I thought they did. I thought it was January 2019.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
Oh,
It's-
no. Sorry, that was Resident Evil. My bad.
Yeah, this game is definitely not a buy. It should be an
Really?
app. No, it
I'll buy
should
it.
be an
and I'll
app.
let you guys
it should be an
know.
app. It should be a free app.
I'll fill you guys in and let you know.
Probably still don't play.
What about the? You guys saw that Rick and Morty game?
Oh my god.
It was a Rick and Morty game.
Yeah, it's not really Rick and Morty. It's the same
Oh,
voice
it's a Morty
actor,
game.
and it's
Well,
Well, the
the
purple
same-
guy was the actor.
That was Morty.
That was Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In every way, even mannerisms. It was
Yeah.
Morty.
well, it was made by
2D.
Squanch Studios,
which is probably
Which
just
is
their
from
their-
Yeah.
their whole. They're probably branching out into making their own game studio now. I mean,
that usually happens. They're like hitting that South Park stride. Remember when South Park started getting popular enough for games?
oh
Yeah,
they
that's
could,
true.
yeah.
So it was kind of funny. It clearly takes place in the Rick and Morty universe. So
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
with
yeah.
their
That
multiverse,
realm.
anything's possible. So it doesn't focus on those specific characters, but
You know what it reminded me of? You know those episodes of Rick and Morty when they just do like it's all like improv. Basically.
Yeah, it was just a random TV show ones.
Yeah, like when they
That's exactly
when
what
they
it-
do the set.
I thought
the
that's what it was going to
universe.
be. I
Yeah.
thought they were going to do this, but then you see the and then it turned to
And
another
it's Rick and-
episode or something,
yeah.
and this is just a Rick and Morty game. But
I would have been more hyped for that.
I actually probably would have been more hyped for that as well, because that Rick and Morty Pokemon type of game was pretty
Oh,
cool.
Pocket Mortys?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Give us more of that.
You guys actually played that?
For a little while,
Yeah,
yeah.
for like a couple weeks.
Another third-person action game, Neo 2, was announced. I don't think they showed too much of that one. I
They
mean,
didn't, but that was another one the crowd got really excited for.
yeah, it's Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's just Dark Souls. And then they ended it with a bang with your another third-person action-adventure game,
Yeah.
Spider-Man. But
This
this
is what I'm
one,
most excited
this
for.
had you really excited.
for your comic book fans, for your Spider-Man fans,
For your Batman fans.
for your, I wouldn't say Batman fans.
Yeah,
How dare you?
it's Batman. It's like Batman Arkham Knight fighting style as Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is.
100%.
Eh.
It is.
Do you play Arkham Knight?
Yeah, I played them. I played them
Okay.
all. Yeah.
All right.
Well, not the
newest
bad one. No.
Oh,
There's a bad one. But yeah, this game it showed you a little sneak peek of the Sinister Six. It looked like, and then he's some secret enemy that they won't show,
I think it's the Kingpin.
which I don't understand why they kept it secret. Like,
He seemed really shocked, though.
yeah,
Really?
well,
Would
he
it be the
had to.
Kingpin?
He had to be shocked.
It's you? Like with a
Yeah.
question mark.
Nobody cares,
Like
bro.
disbelief.
They should have just revealed who it is. It's Venom. Let him, lead the new team of Sinister Six or whatever. The combat
Actually,
looks cool.
That kind of would make
It's
sense.
Mary
seeing as
Jane.
how Venom is coming out
Yeah,
in theaters.
tie it all in.
Tie it in.
Tie it all in.
I'm actually excited for this game.
And yeah, that was the one that ended.
I
They
don't
had
wanna
VR
rain-
stuff there, but I mean,
I don't want to rain on your little parade here for the Spider-Man love. However, I just didn't like Spider-Man himself. I think he sounded too old, and his one-liners just were not on point.
Did they have Tom Holland do
That's
the
true.
voiceover?
No, I don't know
No,
who
it wasn't.
the.
It was-
he sounded too old.
Yeah, he sounded
He's
old.
supposed to be older.
So I
Because
understand what you're saying, and I just assumed that this was this is adult Spider-Man. This
well,
isn't
if you
teenage Spider-Man.
you saw the very first trailer, it is the adult Spider-Man. He has Miles Morales even as a little kid in
That's
the
true.
game.
That's right.
So
So-
this is a more adult.
But
But
his
still,
one-liners.
regardless, his one-liners were not on point. They just didn't seem funny. They seemed forced. It's like those bad movie ones.
Yeah.
That's just writing
puns.
of the company or
The
whatever.
writers.
then,
That's
yeah.
bad though. You expect that. You don't expect that from a Spider-Man game. You need top tier banter.
And who's doing this one? Not Insomniac.
it's-
Naughty Dog, right?
No, I'm 99% sure it's Insomniac,
Okay.
You're talking about the engine?
No,
No,
who's
the-
just making the game?
the publisher.
Yeah, it's Insomniac. Yeah. They do what? Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing.
I thought they were usually good writers.
Did they do Sunset Overdrive? Was that Insomniac?
Yeah.
Overall, Aaron, give us your rating of how you think Sony did compared to the other companies we've seen and discussed.
Well, they came in and showed actual gameplay footage, though uninteresting. Besides, like my Resident Evil to me, personally, I'd have to rate them in two different scores. So, like, if it was a personal thing, you got a D. Because
you giving him the D?
All I cared about was Resident Evil, really.
Okay.
Well
but as a presentation thing, you got a D plus.
All right.
Because you showed a lot of gameplay of things. So.
Fair enough. I honestly, I think they were even with Xbox. I wasn't
really.
I wasn't particularly moved by either one. Although Xbox had more titles I was interested in, like you said. I think as a presentation and as a gamer, Xbox just left a little to be desired. It was a little too ordinary. They didn't show enough gameplay.
Wait, as a presentation?
Yeah, it was just a normal guy comes out, talks, shows a thing.
That's all there needs to be.
Yeah, but I think we can do better. I think Bethesda did better. I think PlayStation actually did better in their own way. In that regard of just showing like more stuff back to back. It was more screen time, just saying what you needed to and getting the hell out of there. I felt like Microsoft had too many different people coming out talking about things, trying to spread their agendas. And like, okay, they showed Halo, but what did we actually see from Halo? Zero. Last of Us fans should be way more hyped than Halo fans because you actually got to see some really intense gameplay, a lot of footage. You basically saw that entire first mission or whatever we saw play out and some cool cinematics. So, yeah, PlayStation tied. Bethesda still clear number one. What do you think, Ivy?
List-wise, for me, I feel I like Resident Evil the best.
Resident Evil
game-wise.
Took the
yeah, I was the most excited for that. But I think Last of Us was what owned everything on there.
Dave
in
Webb.
terms of fan reaction.
I'd say pretty similar. I'd say I'm like Aaron, where I have different ratings for it. For looking at it from gameplay perspective, I think it had one of the most like the highest amount of gameplay for the presentations. You want to compare it to Microsoft because everybody does, PlayStation versus Xbox. I would say PlayStation edged a little bit ahead of Microsoft in that regard to showing actual gameplay. From a presentation standpoint, like, was it entertaining to watch? I'd give it like a very, very low score because it was not entertaining to me. I was bored. Yeah, I wasn't really hyped for it. I was more hyped for games coming out of Bethesda and Xbox.
So that wraps up our coverage of PlayStation.
That's sad, actually, to think about it now, that just a game developer outbeats companies that have multiple game developers working towards their goal.
Well, they've done it regularly. All right, we can't be surprised.
What do you mean they've done it regularly?
Bethesda wins all the time.
Well, how many times has Bethesda showed up to the show and been as big as they are in the last decade?
Well, they've only been cut. This is their fourth E3.
Okay. Well,
and they dominate.
Fourth
with their own
presentation.
Maybe not last year.
Yeah. Fourth presentation, yeah.
I take it back. Bethesda last week was pretty weak.
Last year, yeah, because last year they just had that video.
But you got to think, the other guys have been in the game doing big presentations
since E3.
25 years, yeah. So, I mean, learn. Like, geez.
Evolve. Do something different.
Don't show Evolve.
Yeah, don't do Evolve again.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we had the next one, the last of the major players. Have
the PC.
Their stage shows.
Oh,
wait, you guys did? I missed PC.
So,
and apparently it was Liddy.
PC had by far, hands down, the most games.
Yeah,
like it had
100%.
the most games.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll grant them that.
There's quantity.
But with a good
yeah, exactly, over quality in that regard with PC.
More cringy presentation.
There was so much cringe.
Oh, it's the PC one though, like.
And then there was no applause, and there was nobody in the audience
because there was like 30 people in there, and they all worked at Dell.
Like all of them. So the young lady who was on there, I have not looked her up online because I feel like if I Google search her, I'm going to find the worst of the worst on the internet. They had to have ripped her apart.
Yeah, you probably find her dating website.
Oh my gosh, she was so cringy of how much I want to date, and there was one game where I guess you eat people or something. Oh, the shark,
the
the
shark
Jaws,
where you play as a shark.
Yeah,
and you eat people.
And she's like, "Oh, there's my weekends or something like that."
Because the game was called Maneater, and she
Yeah.
said something like, "Oh, how'd they know what my weekend hobby is called?"
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh,
and everybody was like,
lady."
that was basically what the audience
Felt like
did.
just walking on the camera and putting my arm around her and just pulling her off the thing. Like,
Sweetie.
let's leave right now.
The best part of that game's presentation though was they showed the footage, and then the developer is talking to the host, and the host makes what I thought was like a poke fun kind of comment, like, "Oh, what do? You upgrade the shark?"
Oh yeah, and he's like, "Yeah,
you upgrade the shark."
do.
yeah, it was.
get this, you get
That's why it
this.
was cringy, because it was like,
"Oh,
it's like, oh, well, you got a shark skill tree or something? Like,
Yeah.
actually,
there's a shark skill tree."
we spent about 4 months on that alone.
That's what the highest part of this game was.
And like literally, so the presentation was very simplistic, like the most bland simplistic. And then the weird thing about it was they would be like, "Coming up is this, and that," like they were about to take a commercial break, but then they would just go
they
right
cut back
back
to the
into the
stage.
guy.
and he would kind of like,
You know what
go,
that is?
And I'm back.
Yeah,
You know what that is? Is the producer, whoever scripted and did a lot of it, used to work like in television.
yo, he
and
had to,
wasn't
Yeah.
able to make the transition.
but they did it
What was
like
it, copy
10
paste?
times. It wasn't like they did it once or twice. They did it like 10 times throughout the whole thing. Because like
That's
I said,
awkward as hell.
they had a whole bunch of games. The guy, the presenter, he had the thickest stack of cue cards for him that he was holding, and I was like, your hands must be tired holding that brick of cards.
Weeks leading up to it, he was doing those hand
yeah.
exercises.
And I don't even know the best game they showed. So
No, they showed more Killing Floor 2,
yeah, and that didn't look interesting.
which now you're on a blimp.
Yeah,
showed
they
a
added
shark
one more level
game.
and a gun. I was like,
Yeah.
that's it?
Yeah,
all right.
that's it.
All right. So, but anyway, the PC definitely got an F. It failed hard.
so let's go to Nintendo.
Nintendo's the big dogs, everybody. They came out. I didn't even actually get to watch all of theirs. But, I mean, from the games and from your cousin texting me every 3 seconds, every single thing that was going down, I was like, I'm at work right now. And just notifications. They showed off a couple of games. Actually, about 3 games that mattered. You got Fortnite that was announced that day.
Yeah, that
You
was
can
cool.
download it that day. Also, I saw a little article that Nintendo was throwing a little slide at Sony for not doing cross-platform with their Fortnite.
Really?
they?
Yeah.
What was it? What happened?
Because you can't transfer anything from your account from PlayStation to Nintendo, which I don't even know if you can do that from like the Xbox or your
No,
PC.
you can't.
Yeah, so but they came at Sony like unlike our competitor Sony, you can play with anybody else on another platform. And I was
Damn.
like,
They must be holding out.
they went full like name drop. That's why I was like, oh
Good.
shoot,
Call
okay.
them out.
Yeah,
Good.
that's how they learn.
Yeah, you can get that. They showed Mario Party, which is interesting.
That's what I was
Yeah, I
waiting
missed
for
that one.
because no one is ever that happy playing. Like all the models that they use as the actors.
Oh, yeah.
clearly have never played a Mario Party game.
It was
because-
We Happy Few in there.
Yeah,
It was We
They're all
Happy
taking
Few.
their joy.
Yeah.
because they all had smiles. It was pretty cool. Some of the things they showed, you could connect 2 switches together.
That's a
Oh,
weird
okay.
one.
That's cool.
Yeah, because it's like they put them like
Jenga
sideways.
style,
Yeah,
and you could choose however you want, and then they become one screen for you to play on. I am actually looking really forward to this one.
You and Webb getting that,
oh,
so you guys can play side touching together.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
now I'm canceling my pre-order.
Well, I mean-
You worded it
Side
that
action.
way.
Ivy, you are in an interesting place with Nintendo right now because I think you have a Switch, but you haven't even opened it, and you're thinking about selling it.
Yeah, I haven't opened it yet. It's still sitting in my living room. I haven't had a chance, to be honest. I've just been super busy. I have a couple of games though that I can play on it, but I mean, with Smash Brothers announced, and confession, having never ever played Smash Brothers, I think I'm gonna get this one.
How have you never played a
wanna get this
Smash
one.
Brothers game?
That's just
I don't know. I don't know. It kind of missed me.
This is coming from a guy who's never played Mass Effect, so I mean, I get my fair share.
That's a little different,
of crap,
though.
But you haven't played
Damn.
Smash Brothers?
Wow.
I know.
Have any of you guys
That's,
went camping
heartbroken. Yeah, I've been camping.
with
no.
your Wii's though? Your
Oh, I'm
Anyway.
about to go on a camping trip in like a week and a half. I'm totally bringing my Switch.
good lord.
I'm gonna set it up right on the picnic table.
That's probably the most unrealistic thing I've seen on that thing.
I'm going
on that trailer for Mario Party.
I'll be a nice white couple. I'll find a nice black couple, and we'll play the Switch just like the people on the commercial.
There's got to be like some race relations guy in the meeting room because that's exactly how they
Yeah.
said. So the blacks stay with the blacks, the whites stay with the whites over there, and then we'll have a nice Asian couple here too to represent Japan. Then we have this white guy.
Nintendo.
And if you look at the trailer, they have like a white guy and another white guy. See, we're still supporting the gay people, but let's keep them separate though. That's how we'll do it.
The Nintendo people definitely did a great job showing diversity in that.
Yeah.
In that commercial.
They fully went for diversity. I don't know. Mario Party is always a solid game though. Like that's never been a downer for a Nintendo console. So,
no, I think it was great. I think I definitely do want to get that one. Webb, I mean, you get it, I'll get it.
All right.
why don't they do the cloud things anymore? The what is it called? Where one person can get the game, but you both can play it.
One word. Money.
Yeah.
No, but like
All comes down to money.
you money.
Yeah.
Look at the sales of the Nintendo DS's first Mario Kart. Sold like crazy, and you could play 4 players with
Yeah.
one cartridge.
Yeah, but make the game just as fun, but have everybody have to buy it, and that's 4
Yeah.
times the
I'm
sales.
just saying. I want to see the sales difference from that first one to the next one that came out on the DS.
Ivy, what about Mario Party? You played Mario Party, right?
Wow.
Oh my god.
There's a
Not a Nintendo person, I take it.
I am. Well, Super Nintendo.
Don't say you are and never played.
Said I am in
Nintendo
'94
and
Yeah.
In 1994, I was.
when they were just getting
Super
some
Nintendo
online
and
going,
GameCube.
right?
GameCube?
Yeah, GameCube.
Wait, then you should have
like
played Smash.
Metroid Prime. Well, I always played Metroid Prime and Spyro.
They
Those
did
are
show
my two
that
games.
it's
Oh,
Prime.
and the Resident Evil games. I got Resident Evil on GameCube when it came out.
So Nintendo system, but not Nintendo game.
Okay, so I was very anti
Capcom.
Mario in the newer iterations versus it
What?
being. in
She's
your
like, when he made the
typical,
jump to 3D, it was just
two-
way too
Yeah.
much, man.
I've only heard that.
It was too much.
I couldn't even handle it. Those 64 bits.
I was only heard that in like
I
Sonic.
couldn't handle it. Yeah,
That-
no, I
literally,
was
that's
very
it.
angry when it switched over to like that, and I
But
just couldn't. I was like,
you
no,
played
should
Mario
only be
64,
on
right?
TV.
Ivy.
Huh?
You played Mario 64.
I have not.
Holy
Oh
crap!
my
What is
God,
wrong?
that's the biggest travesty of all.
Yeah.
That's by many to
Hang
be
up.
considered the best game of all time. I'm
Hang up
hanging
on
up.
her.
I'm
Yeah,
hanging
hang
up.
up.
No,
Bye, Ivy. It was nice to have you on the show.
No!
Mario 64. Aaron, that's got to be in like a legendary game.
I have
I've already
played
told
Mario
you.
Kart, but that's on Super Nintendo.
I've already told you Mario is iconic. He's the above all other video games. He breaches RPGs, platformers, racing, freaking Sims. Like he's done every
Yeah.
single type of thing.
Strategy games now.
Strategy
because
games now, yeah, with the
Mario Rabbit.
rabbits,
games,
yeah. He hits it all. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. And you know what the thing is though? He hasn't really done them. Like he'll have a bad maybe platformer,
Uh-huh.
but
But he just shakes it off.
You
He
He's
gets
like,
up.
he's
Yeah.
like LeBron.
He does
you
soft.
can't.
he keeps on-
maybe not.
Yeah, because of
Yeah.
say
Ooh, sensitive topic.
the sales of brooms have gone up since LeBron is.
Damn.
He's like Steph Curry.
There you go. That's
Yeah, I mean he's Steph Curry's on track to doing some Jordan stuff. You know, what was it 3 championships
Doing
before
some
30?
Jordan stuff.
Because it's like I think he got 3 championships before 30, and that's
Yeah.
they're comparing him
Yeah.
to Jordan.
All right.
But anyway, Mario is Jordan. He just is the Jordan. And if you haven't played,
I think chat hates me.
if you haven't played 3-on-3
they
Mario
do.
Hoops,
I think you've lost a lot of credibility here tonight, Ivy.
he's
I never had a Nintendo 64.
That's
I think
I
it's
went
time.
from Super Nintendo
they're like
to
$3
PlayStation.
now. They're like $3 now. Go
Yeah,
get
I
'em.
think
And then PlayStation for a couple of games like Battle Arena Toshinden and Pitfall 3D, and then from there nothing until GameCube for
You missed
Metroid Prime.
Mario Kart. You played Mario Kart, right?
On the Super
Of course,
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Jeez, that was
Wow, that's the
everything
last
was
Mario
just
Kart
flat.
you played?
That's.
What?
That's the last Mario Kart you played?
What's your favorite Mario Kart?
Oh my god.
Not you, Ivy,
Super
because
Mario
clearly
Kart?
it's just one. But
I like 64 for the feels, Double Dash for everything else.
Double Dash is actually
Yeah.
probably. Damn it, that's a tough
Oh,
one.
Nismonic.
Because 64, I really liked. I played like stupid amount of hours of that first DS one. It's a 3-way tie between those three.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say 64 and Double Dash.
Double Dash, it was my jam because it was co-op,
Yeah,
and actually I didn't think they could do a co-op racer. Like I was like,
it was a blast.
yeah, that was good.
My friend still has his GameCube, and I'll still go over there and play it on his 65-inch TV.
It's
It looks horrible.
Oh no, it
but
probably
it's
looks like
hella fun.
like
I'm
garbage.
playing 4 pixels,
Yeah.
but it's hella fun.
All right, and then their big thing. Let's just.
I was gonna
cut
say,
straight
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
Let's get right into it. Let's open it up.
Hollow Knight was
Hollow
announced
Knight, baby,
on the Switch.
It's here.
No, their big thing actually, of course, was Super Smash Brothers Ultimate
Yeah.
with a whomping, not one character,
Why did
But-
they just have one character?
because maybe
That
that's
doesn't make
just.
sense.
I mean, think about it. They kind of copy a lot of characters, so they might as well just. 60.
5?
We'll just say 65 plus because
Yeah.
there's probably gonna be more.
It's every character that's ever been in a
Ever.
Smash game.
Ever.
And here's the
Except
thing.
Waluigi, right?
He's never been in a Smash game.
He's never been in a Smash game.
Then
yet.
why is everyone complaining about it?
Because everyone
they're
wants him.
Dicks.
Everybody's wanted Waluigi in the game, and they refuse to put him in. He's like a trophy assist guy.
and that sucks to be
but-
relegated to that.
Yeah, because Bomberman. He's chilling with Bomberman in that area.
Like if Pac-Man gets his own character, well, I guess he deserves it. He's a little.
the duck. I mean, and the dog from Duck Hunt have a character.
No, here's the thing, no, because
But they're iconic.
they came with every,
Mii's have their own characters.
but those are still
Mii's.
iconic. Those are kind of.
Yeah, Mii's.
Rob the Robot is the one you should be like. Why the
Johnny
hell?
Five?
Why does he have one?
I was surprised that they kept Wii Fit Trainer.
They just brought back everybody.
That's a-
Yeah,
that's-
and I think that's one of the reasons why.
And at that point, it just would have been awkward to be like, everybody's back except
for the Wii.
yeah, the Wii
Fit
Fit trainer. So
But
I think
they with her, I feel like one of the developers knows another developer like personally, because remember when they showed what changed with the Wii Fit character?
Yeah, they made her look different, right?
Yeah, they just made her look, and then it said personal request from the Wii Fit developers.
they've probably
yeah,
always
yeah.
been holding that grudge.
Yeah, they were like, "What the hell? That's not what the face looks like, bro. You want to get that right?"
Every all-team meeting since then, it gets brought up passive aggressively.
Exactly.
Any old business? Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
the Wii Fit
Yeah, he
character
made sure
still
to
doesn't look right.
Still no updates
Yeah,
for
he made sure to make a point of the changes on her face.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they
Like he made sure there was no reason to bring it up, but he was like, I was against it.
Corey, you
They overruled me.
you're in the majors when it comes to Super Smash. Do they use the Wii Fit character? in
there's like
majors?
very sparingly, but
Okay.
there are a few people who are just tear it up with Wii Fit trainer.
This is a thing about this because when I was watching, I was like, "Cool, 65 characters, 10 will be used."
In professional,
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably.
So that's why I'm like, well, yeah, like on your average day, doesn't pay
At the
attention to the
esport
esports person, then yeah, they're like hyped. Like, look at all these freaking characters. But I'm like, in the esports scene, those people are gonna burn through all these characters, finding their right combos or their right, their good feel characters, right? And they're gonna master those characters, and then there's like 2 other ones after them, type of thing.
Yeah.
They don't do picks and bans in esport for Smash, do they?
Well, no, but what's cool though, I guess for just everybody playing the game, is that you're only going to start off with the original roster
Which
when you open the game.
I was actually
The original.
Yeah, I was hyped on
Unlock
that.
65 characters.
I was hyped
There's
on that one.
55 characters you're going to have to unlock.
Because the reason why I like that is because it makes it really does make it feel like you're accomplishing things when you start when you start opening that board up and stuff like that.
And I like how it's just unlocking. It's not DLC. You have to, buy stuff.
Oh, they would have
No,
been
the DLC will come later.
They would have been sued.
That's how you get Waluigi.
They would have been freaking sued
$30
if they were like, "This is DLC." No, nobody's taking that type of
Would
stuff.
have had switches thrown at them.
And they didn't just sit on their, hey, we got a giant roster. We just took all the characters from the old one, put them in the new one. They changed at least
Stupid
something
amount.
about every
And
single
they
character.
showed us
Yeah.
Yes.
in detail.
And so much so that I was kind of like, I was I was excited for the game, but after 15 minutes of seeing all the character changes,
After reading the patch notes,
it was like, all right, another one, really?
half of it was patch notes.
Yes,
It was. It really was.
So, what's the dude's name that makes this? Sakurai or whatever?
Yeah, Sakurai.
I could have swore before he showed all of them, he was like, and here are a couple of characters that we changed.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He went through 10,000.
And he went through all 65, and I was like,
And each
All right,
one
man.
had like 2 or 3 changes.
I was like, this is enough content,
And
please.
some of them were like, he
Some of them
jumps
were
2
pointless to
pixels
show.
higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the Ryu one was pretty cool. How he always faces
Yeah.
Ryu.
That's not how you say it.
R-I-R-I-U.
Thank you, Ivy.
Ryu.
Ryu.
In America,
I'm in the Rio
Ryu.
boat. Ryu.
It's Ryu. And I will refuse to take him seriously until he corrects it and apologizes.
It's
Ryu.
pronounced Ken.
That's what I wanted. If they announced Ken in that, I would have been like, I'm
As
all
an
for
Echo
it.
character?
Actually, why
yeah.
not? So
There's
that's
no good reason.
That's another thing. They got Echo characters.
They've always had them. Now they just have a name.
Yes.
And it's basically like when you have Pit and Dark Pit. You know, they're
Yeah.
basically the same thing, except
Yeah.
the characteristics are just a little bit different. I think technically Falco should probably be considered an Echo
Echo.
character.
Yeah,
Fox.
Ganondorf.
How
is-
he-
Aren't there
they
3
started.
different Mario? Oh, there's 3 different Links, right?
yeah, this is the first time all the links.
Toon Link, Young Link, and then Link.
Yeah. Which,
And-
I don't know, some of these people just seem kind of useless.
Some of the big ones.
But who was the baddie?
What do you mean?
Who was like badass boss man that got added on?
Oh, Ridley.
Yes.
That was a fan
That was cool.
fan service right there.
As a big Metroid fan, I thought that was badass.
Twitter lost their damn mind.
Yeah, I
Like
wouldn't
that
doubt
for
it.
me is a selling point. That's me saying, okay, I've never played this game. Now I'll play this game.
Because Ridley
For
was
Ridley?
what you were
Yeah,
holding out.
you were holding
Since
out for
the Nintendo
Ridley.
64. No,
Yes.
no Ridley, no Smash.
Freaking.
I really like Metroid.
Did they? Because I don't watch the esports scene for this, but were they complaining about some returning characters?
Yeah, there. Well, I didn't see too much open, anger, because you got to play it and see if those characters are still as broken. But there was in the Smash 4 scene, there's a lot of hatred towards Bayonetta right now because she's just so overpowered.
What about the climbers? They're back.
That's another one that I thought I was going to go through, like some of the big high level ones that people actually had big reactions to coming back.
Mm-hmm.
One was Ice Climbers because they were so OP, and then it was said that they didn't come back because they were too hard to balance. But now,
How do you balance 65 characters though?
exactly,
Like, it's too hard to balance before. We only had 30
But
something.
when you have one that's
Yeah.
totally overpowered, but they've done interesting things like Lucina. You know how she has the star that
Mm-hmm.
kind of has its own characteristics, kind of like having a second person on the field. So I don't know. I'm expecting pretty big changes or nerfs to Ice Climbers. Snake was the other big one that people were really excited to come back. He hasn't been in since Brawl.
I know they were like 10 years or something like that since
Yeah.
he's been in it. I'm like, geez, that long ago? That's freaking ridiculous.
Two thoughts on that. One, Tomiko in chat, who is just one of our most recent subs, said that that's one of her favorite characters and actually cried when they made that announcement.
Oh my gosh. Let's pull it together because everybody should have been crying for Captain Olimar. That's the main one.
Number two, they nerfed his ass.
I saw somebody post that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Girls Without Game just posted it. Tomiko just posted
There
that.
was
Good
memes
Lord.
all over the internet of like screenshots of Snake's butt from the original, nice, plump, and shiny, and then the new one, he's got a little flat ass.
Well, I mean, hey,
Forgot leg day. It's been 10 years.
Can't have everything. So,
What about the Inklings?
Inklings was so they really announced two characters, but the Inklings weren't a huge surprise because they were in the teaser.
Yeah, we knew that they were going to be in there, but we actually got to
Here's
see
a question.
gameplay with them.
What are Inklings? I saw them on the thing. What are they from?
They're from Splatoon,
Splatoon, the that shooter game that they have.
the paintball game.
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought it was a cool feature with them that if you spray paint on an opponent, the opponent takes more damage when they have the paint on them.
yeah, it's pretty dope.
It looked amazing.
It looked amazing,
Yeah.
and I also like the fact that they have to recharge their paint. Like they have a finite amount of paint, so they have to then shield and recharge.
Yeah.
I
They
did
don't
not
just have infinite.
like the fact that they changed Donkey Kong's old because I just like the giant whatchamacallits. He just punches people now.
Yeah.
Like they kind of it just kind of felt like they just took Little Max and it was like and like that's what we're gonna do. The monkey just punches people now.
Is Donkey Kong Little Max's Echo character?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know that, but
did you see that moment during E3 when I think it was Nairo's match and they played on that original Donkey Kong level from Melee, or maybe it was 64. I can't even remember. But do you remember the DK rap?
I do remember the DK rap. That was a terrible, terrible rap.
The audience all started in unison singing the Donkey Kong rap.
Bunch of nerds.
Here's the thing.
Bunch of freaking nerds.
I didn't. This is how it like struck me like magic because I was watching, and all of a sudden, the words just popped into my head.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sad.
I was watching it and I was like, DK, Donkey Kong. He's the leader of the bunch.
Horrible.
You know him well.
It was on.
I knew all the words.
What was it on first? Was it on Melee first?
I can't remember.
I think it was 64.
One
first.
I played a lot, so it must have been It must have been Melee.
It wasn't on 64.
You don't think it was?
They
on
didn't have the
64?
technology to put words into stuff like that.
No
I
words
guess
in
that's
music
true.
back then.
With MIDI music, that's all it was. There was no dialogue in anything. And maybe
Hey,
one or
fam.
two.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one.
Who else?
This is also special
Is this-
cases for Smash game.
Oh well, that's
Is
not
this some
surprising.
misery loves company kind of
Special
thing?
cases is the worst. So of course,
look who you're going to
for
solace.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
you're teaming up with special cases.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side
Oh,
of
and
history.
everyone's talking about Snake's ass getting nerfed.
Yeah, it's miserable. Should not have happened.
You want that ass?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put him in there in his full glory.
So, are they?
No,
They're not counting Echo characters, are they?
I think they are. Daisy.
Let's-
They announced Daisy as like the first
Well,
official
yeah,
Echo character.
I'm looking at that, but I'm like, are they counting them as like, oh, this is 61, 62?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
They're not counting trophy characters,
Cool. Yeah, but I mean,
but they're
that's kind
counting
of a
Echo
cop
characters.
out to me then.
No, because it's a playable character.
Don't
There's
give me that.
65
Don't give me that.
playable
That's a skin.
characters.
That's a skin.
No.
That's a mod that somebody made online, and they don't play games. Are those illegal
You
or
were
something?
literally talking about playing games right now.
Are those illegal mods for skins? Because I thought I've seen some people stream like Smash Brother mods with skins.
Depends. Like Nairo streams and he'll have like some crazy out there.
I didn't want to say that
because
because
Daisy has always been like a alternate costume for Peach.
Well, that was, since you said it, I was trying to stay away from it. I've seen Nairo play with skins. That's what I was saying.
Nairo's had like full tournaments where they used the mod pack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just didn't know if this was
He's not hiding.
Well, because I didn't know.
Nintendo still invited him to the event. Like it's not like.
That's why I was. I actually saw Nairo on a YouTuber's channel that I watch, Alpha Lard or Alpha something.
Nairo's a fucking G, dude.
And he was playing. He was wrecking, not even playing the game. He was just wrecking this guy in Smash Brothers.
He was on the stage. He was originally there as an alternate at E3, and they came up with they needed him or came up with a new bit, and they had Ember Moon from the WWE, Olivia Holt from acting.
Olivia Holt?
I don't know who that is. You really know who that
G4. She was
You mean Olivia Munn?
No, there's Olivia Holt as well.
No, they billed her as like an actress. They didn't even say
because I don't think she.
And then they had
her.
A football player, and they did like a celebrity 3v1, and it was those three. They all came out, and then they were like, and player number 4, Nairo, and then Nairo comes out, and he gets more applause. He had more applause than like the celebrities, and then at the end they're like, all right, to keep it fair, and I don't even think they told Nairo. They're like, it's a 3v1.
Damn.
It was like they went full WWE mode on him, and they did 3v1.
But it was more of you guys are stuck in here with me, as opposed to...
Yes, he dominated them. He Braun Strowman'd the hell out of all of them. It was fun to watch, and then at the end, just everyone cheering his name. It was a pretty clutch highlight moment. He should have been part of the full tournament, in my opinion. Tournament was still fun.
And Olivia Holt is from Cloak and Dagger, actually.
She's actually from a lot of stuff, but that's where
she's only
probably
from
know
Cloak
her.
and
She's
Dagger.
only from Cloak and
She's
Dagger.
only from Cloak and Dagger. That's actually a pretty big get up there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was a pretty cool thing. Actually, a lot of I was going to say the same thing because there was another esport event that went down at E3.
You talking about the Fortnite?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
I was going to say
everything else. Over 700 concurrents, over 700K concurrents just on Twitch.
So much.
Holy.
This is like the effect, because one of the stories I had a little bullet points at it. It was like Ninja took a 2-day break and lost 40K subscribers.
Holy shit!
Just from 2-day break.
Damn.
But he went on to that thing.
I think we were sitting at 20 subs strong.
He lost more than we've seen in years.
He lost more than we'll ever see.
So he lost subs from just not streaming?
Yeah, he took 2 days off.
To go do E3.
That's got to be a lot of pressure for somebody.
First of all, that's 40K dicks. That's what that is.
That's true.
You know what? 2 days off? What am I doing?
My content.
Yeah.
I need it.
You can see him
Lazy.
playing. Jeez. But he went up there, and I actually watched some of the highlights of the E3 little tournament that he did.
It was star-studded as hell.
It was, yeah.
They had all the
yeah.
PC setups. Anyone you could think of who matters was basically on that stage.
Did you see the marshmallow guy?
Yeah.
Use a controller.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he using a controller?
There was a few people
I
using
saw
controllers.
That. But he was teamed with Ninja. That's what I'm saying. Like, at one point, he was teamed up with Ninja, and I'm like, you're kind of nerfing the dude here, even though he still wrecked, everybody. But it was like, you're going to go into this PC game with a whole bunch of,
wearing a mask and using
that was,
controller.
yeah, like you're nerfing big time. And I know it had to be hot in that
Did you see
damn
any of
place.
that event, Ivy, or hear about it?
I did not.
It was crazy. Like, Ninja obviously is the biggest thing to hit Twitch since ever. And it had Joel McHale from Community was in there.
Oh, see, I didn't see Joel McHale. They probably left it out the highlight video that I watched.
He was definitely there, and they showed a lot of his face, but they didn't show any of his gameplay.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Lil Yachty was up there. I would always see him in the kill feed. Like, he's a fragger, dude.
He's a gamer. He's like a real, gamer. He disappointed me because after... Which one was it after? He played FIFA anyway, after one of the conferences.
Yeah.
And he put on the U.S. Like, it was like this. It was a World Cup type of thing. Mm-hmm. So they had two players from Mexico, or representing Mexico, and then it was Lil Yachty and another online kind of celebrity, King Batch.
Okay.
Which was upsetting to me because King Batch is Canadian and not American. But
well, it's basically the most northern state.
Yeah, no, they have their own team. But they went out there and they got beat. It was like a Nairo thing, right? Yeah. So like these two guys that are professional type of players versus these two celebrities. And I was like, why are they pairing up, people that don't really play the game like these other guys do with, and they went out there and wrecked and ended up winning like the whole tournament type of thing against Germany. But I guess it was just to have the star-studded power out there. So
they did one where everybody was for themselves.
Yeah.
They did one duos warm-up, and then they did the real one, which was for a whole bunch of money for charity. And the script all went to fruition because I think Ninja ended up winning first place in that last match.
The last one, yeah, he won.
Yeah.
He lost, I think, the second one.
Scripted.
Really
whole thing was
scripted?
Scripted. Yeah, of course. Like, I don't know. He's good at the game. I'm not trying to say he's not good, but
he lost the first one? The first little, I guess, practice duo or whatever?
I was a little bummed because the energy player, Svenos, he's like the #1 ranked in Europe and like a pretty darn big streamer. Like, he definitely had the credentials and should have been in that tournament.
And just did not get the nod to go or something? Or what are you talking about?
No, not to be in the match. No, it's pretty.
What was the prize pool?
Bullshit. It was for charity, but it was like $500,000 or something. It was crazy amount.
What did he give it to? That's what I want to see.
I don't know.
I want to know, what did he, like the Fortnite fund? Is that what he did?
Yeah.
You don't have all the skins.
I
They're
just
gonna
lost
buy 'em for
40K
you?
subs. I have to make that money up somehow.
Yeah. He said, I gave it to the Ninja charity. That's what I did.
It's a freaking crap ton of money right there.
That is a lot of damn money.
Yeah,
for Fortnite.
like do the math on that. 40,000 subs.
It was fun to watch though. Like, I was just,
And we're talking 40,000 subscribers, not $40,000 in subscribers.
No, 40 subs.
40,000 yeah.
Yeah.
40K subs.
Geez, multiply that by $5 if they're just at the bottom
200,000.
tier.
Yeah, his split is probably 70-30 or something. I doubt he's on the 50-50 like everyone.
Oh, no,
else.
he's on the 80-20.
He's definitely got the most primo deal he could ask for.
And there's so many
insane.
on my feed pictures of just people with him. Like everybody was taking pictures of him. Like, oh, Met Ninja, Met Ninja, Met Ninja, Met Ninja. I was like,
he has to technically be the biggest celebrity that was out there.
Yeah.
Like bigger than Mikhail, bigger than all those people.
I'll look this guy up.
Nintendo said that.
You never heard of Ninja?
No.
Oh my god.
Ivy.
No Nintendo 64. No Smash Brothers. Never heard of Ninja.
Hey.
I wouldn't have. Ninja. So Nintendo went out and was like, the biggest game in the world is now on our console, and they were talking about Fortnite at the time. And when I read that, I was like, the biggest game in the world? I said, I guess at this time,
Fortnite is.
It
undisputed.
is.
Yeah.
What even comes close?
I don't know. Yeah, it has that crossover.
Full crossover.
It has that crossover. So, but it didn't, like, what I'm saying is it didn't sink in. That, like, yeah, Fortnite is, because to me, I'm like, I'm over Fortnite already. Like,
have you played on the Switch yet, Corey?
No.
Okay.
Jesus, that's $150,000. That's even at 75. That's at 75%. Like, where if he's getting 75% and at a $5 tier.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
nutty.
But what that is,
that's a house.
That's a drop.
House.
That's a drop in the
He lost
bucket.
a house.
That's a drop in the bucket for that guy.
Yeah, his house in Martha's Vineyard.
He's like, I
can't,
afford to,
How many subs
give my
does
maid
he
a
have on
tip.
his channel?
No idea.
That's what that is. That's what that is to him. I can't afford to get my maid a tip this week. That's what that is.
I'll get you next week, though.
Yeah, next week I'll get back up on there.
So I think that wraps up our the majority of our E3 coverage. There's obviously going to be still more to come as we.
How much
finish
more
the week
though?
out. Not too much.
Yeah, like
I think everything's pretty much out there. I think what you'll see is just when people actually get their hands on it, more reviews and stories will come out.
You know what I miss about E3 though? The behind the scenes reveal stuff. Because there was one year when Smash Brothers wasn't the forefront of Nintendo's thing. You got that after their conference, like on a Thursday. Like
it was like a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, like, it was just kind
June.
of yeah. So I kind of miss that type of stuff. Like, not you got the presentations, that's cool, but I want to see the kind of the behind the scenes, the closed doors stuff. Which is, I don't know. Sometimes they do better stuff like that for the big companies that pay money, the suits.
Did we talk about the Ubisoft conference?
Nah.
No.
Is there any? It's kind of not on accident.
Yeah, it's nothing notable. I think came out. They did some updates to For Honor. Saw the Division 2.
That was the thing. For Honor, I don't understand. Why are you beating a dead horse?
I don't know. But here's why I want to talk about it, because I think it wins the award for one of the most cringiest moments. It beats PC by a mile. They put a lot of time into Trials, which is this.
Oh yeah, the
where you ride like a dirt bike and you go off different jumps, and the whole idea behind it is to try and,
the guy they brought out.
Holy
crap!
That was
cringe.
It was so cringe. It was almost like he was supposed to ride on stage, but they cut that last minute, so he just rides to the front, drops it, goes back up onto the stage, crashes through the podium, like stumbles into the podium. And I was talking to Katie in chat, and we were like, did he do that on purpose or was it on accident? I can't tell if it was, and I don't think anybody can tell.
That's the best part of it. You can't tell.
I can't tell. I thought maybe he was drunk.
Yeah, no,
he's French, so he sounded drunk.
They all all the French people did kind of
sound like they're drunk and chewing. It's like, get the food out of your mouth.
They showed some good stuff though.
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft is Beyond Good and Evil, right?
Yeah, but that was just the cutscene though.
Yeah.
We didn't see gameplay, did we?
No, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you saw the action, the combat, because they showed her the jump down. Because that got me to go look at the early development diary of that one, because I want to hold them to stuff. They said you're gonna be able to create your own character, man your own like massive ships, like freighter ships, and have smaller ships, of course. And this is an open galaxy game where they're kind of rendering the planets as opposed to procedurally generated.
Oh, okay. So everything exists.
And then also there's like planets get hit by meteorites, which change the terrain of the actual planet.
That's cool.
And they showed it. They showed how in the little behind the scenes alpha footage of how a planet will hit by a meteorite and then it would create a giant crater. And that's why how they developed all the cities to be on the side of the planet where that stuff would not happen. Because some of the things you do in the game is you can go to where a meteorite crashed and get like special minerals and stuff from the meteorite and stuff like that.
But they don't want to have this whole city destroyed.
Yeah, but they don't want to have a city destroyed. So I'm like, there's a lot of things going. This game is not coming out till 2020. I guarantee that.
Probably not.
Because if they want to keep everything they want to keep.
So another game that I was excited to see because I didn't actually see when it was first announced was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah, didn't even talk about
We
that.
already talked plenty about that.
The
They didn't show us
Pokemans?
anything new.
Did they not? I didn't watch it. So that's why
you can
I skipped
transfer
past it.
Pokemon from the Pokemon Go game onto that game.
So
Yeah,
they
we already
announced
talked about that.
Yeah. So I didn't see it when it was first announced. I just knew that it was announced.
Well, we did. We already talked about it, so we can move on.
Did they talk about mounts?
In
before?
Pokemon?
It's always been a thing.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it has.
My ass has been a thing.
Mounts.
Like bicycles?
No. Like, you can ride the fucking Pokemon. Like, she
That
rode
has
on it.
always
Yeah, that has always been a thing.
It has?
Yeah, I did that in Silver, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because like you use the Pokemon.
I didn't
What are they
know
called? What are they called? The ones that you just use for transportation?
HM slaves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, yeah. So I know what you're talking about, but that's only for specific things. Like you ride a Lapras across the ocean.
Yeah.
But
What are
like
you talking about?
she just like put away a Charizard that was following her and took out an Onix and jumped on top of the Onix and was riding Onix through the Viridian.
Do you go
town.
faster or something?
No.
Oh, so this is
It's just cool,
cosmetic.
All right.
All right, yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So thank you guys for that segment. We're just going to close out the show here by thanking our sponsors, Oblivion Comics and Coffee. Believed in us from day one. I remember when we first started this podcast 5 years ago, the people from Oblivion called us and said we support what you're doing, and that's always meant a lot to us.
From day one?
Yep, right when we started the podcast 5 years ago.
In the future, they came back in a TARDIS and said, "We support this.
Exactly.
Go forth and do great things."
I was just not going to
GG Gamer Sups again.
Another TARDIS owner, I'm guessing.
Gamer Sups.
Gamer
Yes.
Sups, all about that
I love
life.
them.
Use that code
Hey, what's
word
the code?
VGB. You can get 10%
Put
off.
it in chat.
Yeah, put that shit in chat. I love the Gamer Sups. We love the Gamer Sups.
I take that to every con I go to, and that's what gets me through everything. No joke. Freaking Gamer Subs get it.
Get it. Did you like that one, Aaron? I'm
Nah.
trying to evolve.
I don't know what the hell that was.
Trying to evolve.
Although I did have too much that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot that one day. Didn't you cut it with Red Bull too or something?
I don't-
No,
Something
I had,
stupid like that?
a
Cut it
lot.
with
That's not
Red
cutting.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what cutting is. Then.
Nope.
You don't cut with something else.
I knew it was laced up though.
Cutting heroin, cocaine. That's what I'm doing. Cutting it.
But yeah, fond memories. I like to reflect back on these days. We have these centennials. It's been 5 years. Do you think we're as far as you want to be, Aaron?
Not until we're the suits at E3.
You want to be the suits at E3?
Or what did I say? What did I say 2 years ago?
Ooh, I like that.
Where Childish Gambino was. Remember how he was above everybody at E3? You don't remember that? Because we were there and we were like, "Oh, Childish Gambino's here," and we're like, "Where the hell? I didn't see him on the show floor." And then you look at the footage; he's above everybody, playing his own. Like they have him with special, units that nobody else gets to touch.
Yeah.
That's
your goal?
That's where it is. Yeah, you got to be one of the suits.
Aaron's goal is always to be above everybody.
No, not to be above everybody. I just don't want to be down below with everybody.
I just want to be on the same level as everybody.
We all need to
fair.
elevate. All need to elevate.
I don't know. Any memories that come to some of your favorite moments?
The dead air right
balls.
there.
The kangaroo balls, always kangaroo balls for life.
Any in chat?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to hear some from chat. What about you, David?
Oh, favorite memories. Christmas parties are always fun. I think.
Yeah, chat came out with something good.
Oh well, yeah. I'm gonna avoid
Gatorade.
Chat. Yeah, I guess the Gatorade.
The Gatorade Chronicles.
Gatorade.
I'm so glad
Gatorade
those are
Gate.
behind us.
I don't think they're as behind you as you want them to be.
I
At least
don't
not
know.
when it comes to chat.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's your Gatorade bottles right there.
Is Belgrave new?
Yeah, I
No.
think so.
That's
Maybe.
somewhat new.
Yeah.
A month or so.
Yeah,
We're
I
doing
agree
Belgrave.
with Webb though. Yeah, the holiday party last year was really cool.
I liked. I think some of the ones I remember the most are Anthony Birch episode.
That was a good one. Yeah.
I like that one.
That was a good one. He's an interesting character. I think I looked him up for some reason because I follow him on Twitter, and I didn't know he had so much controversy surrounding him. So that was interesting to find out years later after the interview that because you know how we usually ask people, is there anything you want to stay away from?
Yeah.
I think he probably would have had a list. He's like,
Yeah.
can we stay away from this, and all 4 incidences where that happened.
Mia Khalifa.
Mia
Gotta be a
Khalifa.
highlight.
Yeah, 100%. I still want to be the one to say Mia Khalifa.
Why not? She's a entertainer now.
She's a Twitch broadcaster.
Sports entertainer.
We had Britt Bliss on the podcast when Cory wasn't there.
And I wasn't there either.
He was, yeah. The two were both
we
gone.
Both missed it. I think
Yeah.
no, that wasn't E3. When was that?
I was up there. I
Oh, it
was
was
in studio.
after. It was right
it
after.
was right
E3.
after E3. Yeah.
I think anytime we have a guest on is just a good show. It's just a fun time.
What are your goals for next year, Aaron? To be above everybody else? Anything besides that?
Not above everybody else. How many times just to elevate yourself, sir?
We know what you meant.
Always
just-
elevate yourself.
You're just phrasing it differently.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You guys don't understand. I mean, hey, maybe that's it. My goal is for you guys to understand better. That's what it is.
Well, we are doing a giveaway to celebrate 5 years of VG Bangin'. If you guys are watching us on Twitch right now, this is, in fact, a podcast that you can download on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Just search Video Game Bang. You can also find us on Spotify, and we really appreciate those 5-star ratings and that subscription, because when you subscribe, you get the episodes delivered straight to your phone overnight. It's like magic. We couldn't have done it without the fans. We couldn't have done it without key people helping turn this from a hobby into something, I don't know, worth doing. We get a lot of stuff about like, oh, I want to start a podcast. I should start a podcast. We should do this and that and stuff. And my advice to you people is just to do it. This show started not because we were anybody at all. We actually were the opposite. We were all just GameStop employees who decided one day to record a podcast. And then we did it over and over again. Nobody listened for a very long time, but we were getting better. We were motivated. Then out of nowhere, a listener popped up, and his name was Hollow Monkey. And so we had a purpose, and then we kept doing it, and then they multiplied, and there was a couple listeners, and then we had 10 listeners and a dozen listeners.
They had babies.
You think that one listener that left us for a hot second because she thought we were sponsored by Pornhub is still listening?
I hope so.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did this come about?
One of you guys made.
I don't remember what the joke was. Yeah, but
It
that's
was-
how it. Yeah, we were like, oh, sponsored by Pornhub, and then
They left.
She wrote us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I'm not listening to you guys anymore. You're sponsored by Pornhub, and we were like, that was a joke.
That was an interesting one, but we've had other ones where, like, you know, a dude who said that his very close relative had passed away, and that the show kept him in a happy place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the first really good emails happened. We've gotten invitations to speak up and down the state. We've done San Diego Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
Accomplished a lot through this show. So I just...
You guys have an international presence too. Anytime I go to the shows international, they're like, "Oh yeah, VGB. I just listened to that episode the last episode, or this or that, or like, yeah, you definitely."
Yeah, we're big.
Far
we're,
reach.
We're big in Europe, especially Sudan.
Yeah,
We're big in
Sudan.
Sudan is a huge market.
Republic of
Canada.
Chad.
Yeah.
Republic of Chad's a big one too.
Sudan's in Europe?
I don't know where.
I think it's in Africa.
Is it?
I think
Maybe?
it's. I wouldn't put it in Europe.
Is it time to bless the rains?
I think it's in Africa.
Not in Sudan.
I don't know.
Is...
I'm getting emotional, guys.
All I know is when I met you guys, I was guesting at a con. You guys came up, asked if you could interview me, and I said, all right, sure. Then the next thing was, oh, would you like to be on the podcast as a guest? All right, sure. Then I did, and my comment was, after I had guested at a few different podcasts, and a lot of them were very awkward. Like, they were very awkward. It didn't flow or anything like that. Just tons and tons of dead air. And you guys were the first ones where it actually seemed very professional in terms of how you guys were talking and just kept the flow going. And then I think we did one more guest spot, and then after that you guys were like, hey, so how would you like to be one of the hosts on the show? And that was cool. And that was happy making. And here we are.
Special thank yous, Aaron. Do you have anyone you want to thank? I have a list.
Always the listeners. I mean, and the fans. You gotta love the fans.
I gotta thank the original, the OG Laura. You know.
Oh, Laura, yeah.
So,
Laura.
We had some other greats, Jadas of the world, the David Ings, the Larissas, the Maid of Might, Ivy Doomkitty, all those people. Jake, our social media guy.
Yeah.
We have a social media guy who gets like no love or attention, but Jake, and of course you guys, Aaron, David, doing all the crazy work, especially in the times that I've been traveling. You guys have been taking over shows, and I listen, and you guys have just grown so much, and I'm so proud of you guys.
You press a button.
All right, everybody. For Aaron Carter, David Webb, Ivy Doomkitty, my name is Cory, saying thank you so much for 5 years, and here's to 5 more. Peace. Maybe
Sudan
10.
is in Africa, everybody.
Yeah, it's in
I don't think we'll make it to 10. I'll be
At
honest.
the top
We're
with
gonna make
Aaron.
it 15.
Nah.
Above everybody.
This show's not going 10 years.